Hello friends, what's going on? Dave Trotter here. I'm your transformation coach and the host of the Inspiration Rising podcast. Welcome those of you who are on Instagram, which is at Inspo Rising. You can always watch there Tuesdays and Thursdays, every Tuesday and Thursday at 4 o'clock Pacific time, 7 o'clock Eastern time. What's up, Kelsey Bloom? Good to see you on Instagram. You can join either place, Instagram or Inspiration Rising Insiders, which is our private Facebook group on Facebook. I am so glad that you're here with me. Just as a reminder, Mondays and Wednesdays I release podcast episodes, and on Tuesday and Thursday I do a Facebook Live on a theme. So yesterday I had a great interview with Lindsay Mango. She's a life and business coach, and I love that last name, Mango. Like, that's so cool. I don't even eat a lot of mangoes, but I love the name. She was great. If you want to learn about how to live an anything but average life, that is what we talked about. And her podcast is called Anything But Average. So welcome, Trip Fuller. What's up, Wendy? Good to see you. Hi, Jessica. Good evening. Good to have all of you guys with us. So today, by the way, you may be wondering, why is Dave in a parking garage? Well, we're talking about grit, and there is nothing grittier than a parking garage. Am I right? I mean, in every movie, something bad happens in parking garages. Nobody ever wins the lottery in a parking garage. Nobody ever gets promoted in a parking garage. Nobody ever meets the love of their life in a parking garage. No, it's always scary stuff. And so, I don't know, we're talking about grittier. It's kind of fun. So if you guys see anyone coming up behind me, like, you know, or a car pulls up, just give me a wave or something. Warn me, okay? Just let me know. Today, and I'm going to start, just so you guys know, every Tuesday and Thursday, I'm going to start our time by reading the Inspiration Rising Manifesto. I have been reading a book called Think and Grow Rich, which is a really old personal development, money mindset book. I've never read the whole thing, and so I'm in the middle of reading that. As you guys know, I'm doing the 75 Hard Challenge. If you don't know what that is, just look up 75 Hard. It's hard, let me tell you. And one of the things is you have to read 10 nonfiction pages, 10 pages in a nonfiction book every day. And so that's the book that I'm reading. One of the things that it talks about is a term called auto-suggestion. Auto-suggestion. And that means that you are articulating something, oftentimes through memorization, or articulating it over and over again to get it into your subconscious. And so you may be asked, well, why are you always reading the Inspiration Rising Manifesto? Well, I'm going to tell you, it's not just for you. It's for me. It's because I need this. I'm the one who wrote it. I didn't write it just for you. I wrote it for me, because this is what I need to get into my subconscious, okay? And that's why I read it over and over again, and I'll read it for us today. If you happen to have yours, you can pull it out. If you need a copy, an actual physical copy, you can get it. It's in the Empowered to Rise book, or you can just go to insporising.com/manifesto, and I'll mail you this little card anywhere in the world. It says this: my life has been inspired from the moment of conception. I am whole and complete just as I am. I don't have to do or be anything else to be loved. This is my true identity. Embracing my inspiredness, I am discovering my unique way to bring inspiration to the world. My life story, wiring, and strengths are my superpowers, and I'm learning to use them with others for the sake of others. I have access to all the resources I need to live out my inspiration, and I will be strong and courageous in the face of any challenge. My inspiration is rising. Okay, whew, that felt good. Hey, if there was a word or a sentence or a phrase that stood out to you as I read that, would you mind just putting that in the comments? Like, just, whatever it was for you. For me, today, what really stood out was for the sake of others. That I am motivated by what I'm doing in life to serve and help and be of inspiration for the sake of others. All right? So that's for me what stood out. If there's something that stood out to you, just pop it in the comments. I'd love to hear what stood out to you today. All right. Well, as we're getting started on part 2 of our grit, right? Grit is the super secret superpower. Yes, that's what I called it. Grit is our secret superpower. I want to ask you today, what is it that you are wanting to accomplish, achieve, or experience that would take you a longer period of time? If it's something that you can knock out in a day, in a couple hours, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about something else that takes a little bit longer time period, right? To achieve, to accomplish, or to experience. What is it that you're wanting right now? Maybe you're in the middle of it. Like for me, one of the things that I'm looking to accomplish and experience is raising my kids to be productive, successful, loving, caring members of society, right? That is a long-term achievement. That is not something that happens overnight. Woo, let me tell you, I got a 17-year-old and a 20-year-old. It is a long-term process. Yeah, Holly says lose weight. Yeah, that's a longer-term process. I wish it wasn't, Holly. I wish it could just be like, bam, and it's gone. All right, but I'm with you, okay? So anything that you think of, if you want to put it in the comments, you're welcome to. Jessica says lose weight for better health. I love that. It could be anything. It could be getting a promotion. It could be starting a business. It could be having kids. It could be raising kids. It could be getting married. It could be getting a degree. It could be starting a side hustle. It could be developing a community of people that you want to just be with and care for. It could be transforming your city, bringing hope and health and healing to your city. I don't know what it is, right? But I would challenge you that you probably already have something that you're in the midst of that's a long-term achievement. But there is something invigorating about life when you have something to look forward to, a vision, a mental picture of your preferable future, something that you are going after. Kelsey says to raise my kids patiently and to stay healthy. Yes, that is good. That is good. Yes, to raise my kids patiently and to stay healthy. I love that. Okay, so today I want to talk to you about the second half of Grit. Like if you wanted to get the first half, you can go back to Facebook or Instagram on the Instagram IGTV. They're there. The first half talking about Grit. Today, I want to talk to you. Let me remind you a definition of Grit, right? We talked about this woman, and I've got some notes here just to make sure I get it. Angela Duckworth. She wrote a book called Grit, The Power of Patience and Perseverance. Angela Duckworth, if you want to get that. You can also watch her TED Talk that's about grit in the context of education, and it is very powerful. She defines grit as, she defines it as passion and sustained persistence applied toward a long-term achievement. All right, maybe you want to say that with me. Passion and sustained persistence applied toward a long-term achievement. So last time we talked about passion. It's got to be something that you care about, right? And then there's got to be sustained persistence. You're not going to just try something and then quit and then you'll be done, okay? Angela Duckworth. Yes, thank you, Holly. All right, so 4 ways that you can increase grit in your life. And these are taken from her book. All right, 4 ways to increase grit. Grit is not something that is you're just born with. Grit is not something that somebody hands you or that you buy. Grit is something that you develop over time like a muscle. All of us have grit. The question is, are we exercising it? For instance, as an example, muscles, right? Every one of us has muscles. You have muscles. Now, some of us have bigger and stronger muscles than others. I realize that part of that might be genetic a little bit, right? But for the most part, if you have bigger and stronger muscles, it's because you've been exercising them, because you've been working on them, because you've been feeding your muscles, because you've been concentrating on them, all right? In the same way, grit requires us to develop it and cultivate it, and I want to tell you 4 ways that you can do that today. So if you want to get out a piece of paper or a pencil or, type it, text it, whatever, all right, I want to encourage you to do that, okay? Number one way okay, is to become fascinated with whatever it is that you're trying to achieve, accomplish, or experience. That's number one. Become fascinated with whatever it is you're trying to achieve, accomplish, or experience. So, for instance, I want to talk about my friend Jackie. You guys hear me talk about Jackie every once in a while. She's in Portland area. She went through the Launch Your Life coaching program. She caught a vision for becoming a flower farmer. So not only did she become catch a vision for that and set goals for it and sell their house and buy a 6.5 acre farm, all right? But she became intensely fascinated with dahlias, which is a type of flower, but also flower farming and the business of flower farming. So after she got done with the Launch Your Life coaching program, she actually enrolled in a flower farming course. I didn't even know there was such a thing. Who does that? Who takes a flower farming? Who makes a flower farm? Well, people that want a flower farm. Yeah, she became intensely fascinated about everything, about dahlias, about farming, about the business of farming, about selling flowers, cultivating, all of it, weather systems, seasons. Okay, so if you want to increase grit, meaning that you're gonna stick with it, you're not gonna just be like going, it got kind of tough, I wanna bail. No, you're gonna stick with it. And one of the ways that you can increase grit is by becoming fascinated with whatever it is that you want to accomplish, achieve, or experience. So for instance, somebody said lose weight. So there's one way to stand in the mirror and go, gosh, I wish I looked different. I wish, right? I've been there, okay? I do that. But what would it look like to increase your grit in the area of losing weight by becoming fascinated with your body, by becoming fascinated with healthy foods, by becoming fascinated with exercise, right? What would that look like? Not just to go, all right, well, they said I gotta do cardio, right? No. That is not grit. That's just going, I'm gonna try this out. No. To increase grit, all right, if you were seeking to lose weight, it would first of all look like becoming really fascinated with all aspects of it. There would be a curiosity within you, a desire to want to learn about all the different things surrounding that subject. So no matter what it is that you want to accomplish or achieve or experience, I want to encourage you to become fascinated with it, to learn everything that you can around that subject and become curious about it. All right? That's number one. Number two, I want to encourage you to magnify the meaning of whatever it is that you want to achieve, accomplish, or experience. All right? Number two, magnify the meaning of whatever it is you want to achieve, accomplish, or experience. So number one, right? Number one was you're going to become fascinated around whatever it is you want to achieve, accomplish, or experience. Number two, you want to magnify the meaning. Okay, well, what do I mean by that? If I think that whatever it is that I want to achieve, accomplish, or experience doesn't mean much in my life, doesn't mean much in the world, doesn't mean much to my family, then I'm not going to stick with it very much. I'm not going to have much determination. I'm not going to have much grit. So Kelsey, over here on our lone Instagram live warrior, so good to have you there. You said you want to raise kids patiently and stay healthy. Now my guess is you also want to raise patient kids and healthy kids. So there is incredible meaning for you, Kelsey, in raising your kids, not only for you to be patient and healthy, but for them to be patient and healthy. But in those days when you're feeling overwhelmed by them, by feeling tired, when you feel like you don't have all the answers, when something is overwhelming and you're just anxious or fearful or whatever it might be, when you magnify the meaning of raising your kids and go, you know what? I am raising healthy kids, patient kids, powerful kids, educated kids. Why? Because I want their life to be so beautiful. And I believe I'm raising kids that are gonna make a difference, a positive difference in the world. Yes, that's what you're doing, Kelsey. Now, if you thought to yourself, Kelsey, yeah, you know, I'm just raising kids. Like, I just don't want them to go to jail. I'm just trying to keep them alive. Okay, I'm just trying to keep them alive, and they'll do whatever they want to do in life. All right, they're going to do whatever they want to do. The level of grit that you will have in raising your kids will be less than if you magnify the meaning. If you magnify the meaning to go, no, my kids are going to transform this world. My kids are not only going to enjoy life, they're going to be great to be around. People are going to love them, and they're going to raise kids. So even by the way that I'm raising my own kids, it's going to impact the way they raise their kids. Do you notice how I'm magnifying the meaning, right? Now, you may be stressed out by that, but oh my God, this is stressful. No. The goal is not to be stressful. The goal is to magnify the meaning of whatever it is you're trying to achieve, accomplish, or experience, because then it will cause you to stick with it when things become challenging. If there's no meaning, it's like, let's just say you're putting together a puzzle. I don't care if you finish the puzzle. I really do not care. Put it back in the box, throw it away, put it down the drain. I don't care. There's not much meaning there for me. But if you are, let's just say, creating a puzzle that you're gonna sell that generates income for families who are suffering, for all of a sudden there's a magnified meaning that will require you to put more effort and create the puzzle, whatever, cheesy example, but you get the point. If you want to increase grit in your life, you got to see whatever it is that you want to achieve, accomplish, or experience and magnify the meaning. Okay? Got to magnify the meaning. Make it mean even more to you, to other people, and the world at large. All right? Now, the third way to increase grit is to expect frustrations. Expect frustrations as a normal part of the process. All right? Expect frustrations as a normal part of the process. Now, I'm not looking for frustrations. So when I say expect frustrations, I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm not looking for things to go wrong. All right, we're definitely not looking for that. We're looking for things to go right. But when there is a challenge that comes your way in the midst of pursuing something that you want to achieve, accomplish, or experience, that you would not be surprised by it. That you would go, oh yeah, I expect some frustrations along the way. That's just part of it, right? One of the things that Angela Duckworth talks about in her book, speaking specifically on the issue of education and raising kids that have grit, is that kids would know that part of the learning process is negative emotions. Part of the learning process are negative emotions. I say that in that I think about my daughter Waverly or my son, especially my daughter Waverly. It's so funny. Early on in life, she would try something for the first time, right? And so if she didn't have it mastered and she was just awesome the very first time, then she just wanted to quit. Great example, just comes to my mind, is tennis. She wanted to play tennis, just not as a, like in school, but just with my wife Laura. They wanted to play, so they went out and got 2 rackets, kind of inexpensive balls, all this. This was like quite a few years ago, man. I don't even remember, maybe 5 years ago. Maybe she was 16, 17. And after the first time playing tennis on the court, you know what she did? I was horrible. I was a horrible tennis player. And she walked in the door and I started laughing. I go, well, yeah, of course you're a horrible tennis player. You should be a horrible tennis player. This is your first time playing tennis. Of course you're horrible. So when we are going after something that we want to accomplish, achieve, or experience that's a long-term process, you guys, why would we anticipate that we are going to be at the highest level of performance or have everything perfect? No. Part of the learning process is negative emotion. Negative emotion that like, gosh, I'm not where I want to be. Gosh, that's not quite going the way that I want it to kind of come together. And so if we allow those negative emotions, geez, I'm not great at tennis, to cause us to quit, right? We'll miss out on something. So part of having grit is understanding I'm going to expect some frustrations. It's a normal part of the process. Part of the learning process is negative emotions. The reason why I thought about that tennis is just recently, my daughter and son Emerson went and got the tennis rackets. In the middle of this quarantine, they're going, we got to do something. Hey, look at those tennis rackets. We should try that again. And they're in the middle of our cul-de-sac. We live in this cul-de-sac. And they're just out there, just kind of hitting it back and forth in the cul-de-sac, having fun. They're just having fun, enjoying it. Now, is it a long-term achievement for them to, experience tennis? No. Will they increase their grit in somehow? I don't know. But what I did love about seeing them out there is that they didn't anticipate that they would have it all dialed in or be perfect from the very beginning. No, they're just going, it's part of the process to experience frustration, okay? Now, number one, is become fascinated by whatever it is that you want to achieve, accomplish, or experience. Number two, you're going to magnify the meaning so that it feels like this is a big deal. Like what I'm doing right now is a big deal. Okay, when you feel like it's a big deal, you're less prone to quit. You're increasing that grit inside your heart. Number three, expect frustrations as a natural part of the process. All right, because you're learning. You're going to experience negative feelings, challenges. It's okay. You're expecting that. Oh yeah, I'm frustrated. Yeah, why? Because I've never done this before. Because it's a huge process. Because it's a lot of work. Yeah. All right, number four. The fourth way you can increase grit in your life is to believe that you can learn, change, and grow. All right, it's not just believing that you can accomplish the thing, whatever it is. Yes, I want you to believe that. Why else would you be trying to achieve or accomplish or experience something unless you actually believe that you could do it, right? But I want you to believe that you can learn, grow, and change. I want you to believe that you can learn, grow, and change. Why is that important? Well, when you get frustrated that you're not handling relationships the way that you want to, when you get frustrated that you got impatient with your kids, Kelsey, and like you yelled at them or, told them blah, 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 when you fed them Oreos just to keep them quiet, when you didn't get the promotion and you got feedback on why, and it was hard to hear, when you looked at the scale and you're like, man, I just don't feel healthy, okay? If you don't believe that you can learn, change, and grow, then you're going to get stuck. If you're gonna say, I'll never be able to figure this out, I've never been able to make this happen. Things never go my way. People never want to help me, okay? All of those are negative thoughts that prevent you from believing that you can learn, change, and grow. Like, no. I didn't get it this time. That's okay. I'm learning, I'm changing, I'm growing. Yeah. It's the difference between what psychologists call a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. Maybe you've heard of this before, okay? A fixed mindset says things will always be this way. I can't change them. Carmelina says limiting beliefs. Yes, I call them lies in our Launch Your Life program. They're lies that prevent you from believing that you can grow, learn, and change. That is a fixed mindset. You know people like that. Maybe that's you, where you're going, it just isn't gonna change. You've lost hope. You don't have grit, the grit that you need. And so I'm telling you that you need to reach deep within and say, no, 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 I believe that I can learn, change, and grow. I can do this. Yeah. And part of what I do when I coach people is take them through a radical transformation of their mind so that they can believe that about themselves. Now, if you have a growth mindset, it is believing that things can change, that things can be learned, that there can be growth, okay? That is a growth mindset. So the goal when we're raising our kids is to not have them have a fixed mindset to go, things can't change. No, 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 we want to have a growth mindset to go, I can change, I can grow, I can learn. Things are always in flux and I'm moving forward and I'm growing and changing, okay? Now, these are 4 simple ways to increase the level of grit in your life, okay? Number one, become fascinated, just fascinated by everything about it. And if you're not already fascinated, one of the ways that you can become fascinated is just by asking questions, one question at a time. I wonder if, what if this, how does that work, right? All of those are questions that if you just take one step at a time to answer those questions, it will increase your level of fascination and it'll increase your level of grit. Magnify the meaning, we got that, right? Expect frustrations is a necessary part of the process. And finally, believe that you can grow, learn, and change, okay? If you write those down and embrace those, begin to take them into your life, you'll start to see the level of grit, determination, and tenacity. Get this phone over here. You guys can't see it on Facebook. I got this thing jerry-rigged, trying to get 2 phones up next to each other. You guys, if you saw me in this parking lot, you would be laughing your patootie off. Okay, so those are the 4 ways to increase grit in your life. Why do you want grit? Because you don't want to quit. That's right, you don't want to quit. Now, there are times where it's like, okay, this is not the season for this. This is not the time. This is not, like, I feel like I'm supposed to be doing this over here. Yeah, I get that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when there's a long-term achievement that you want to experience in your life and you're committed to it and you don't want to quit. You want to increase your level of determination. You need more grit in your life, and these are 4 ways that you can do it. Okay? I hope that that's helpful for you. I'm fired up about it for my own life. And I want to encourage you. I just announced this today. If you haven't already, text me. I just started a new texting communication. And it's not, if you have my old phone number, it's still my personal cell phone number, but I've got a new number that allows me to text all of you at once. Some of you got a text that right before I went live, and I can respond back and forth to you individually, and it's super fun. It's a great way to stay connected, and I'll be sending out inspiring and motivating messages to you, quotes or little videos or photos or audio, whatever it might be. If you want to sign up for that, the text number, okay, you ready? It's 949-401-6090. That's 949-401-6090. And you can, that number, just say, hey Dave, and it'll text you right back, and it'll ask you to just click a button to let me have you as a contact. And then I'll send you my contact information for that phone number. You can text me anytime, and then I'll be texting out inspirational and motivational messages from time to time. I'm really excited about it, frankly, but I don't want to bombard your inbox with crazy stuff. But I do want to send you motivating things and inspiring things. So I'm very excited to be with you. All right, I hope this was helpful for you today. Next week, we'll choose a different topic, but this week was all about grit. And if you have friends that want to watch this video or the last video, it'll be in the Inspiration Rising Insiders private Facebook group. You can invite them to join and they can watch it. Thanks for putting that number up there, Susan. And then also, they can watch it on Instagram TV, IGTV on the Instagram, which is Inspo Rising. All right, any questions that you guys have? I want to be open that if you had some questions while I'm live, I'm just flipping back through here. It's so great to see all of you, Holly and Susan and Tyler and Trip and Jessica and Nina and Carmelina. Good to be with all of you guys. Jill, Kristen, Sylvia. Kristen Manna was the first one to join the text deal. I try to come up with a fun thing to call it. Like texting with Trotter. I was being silly, of course. I think Inspo Text is kind of cool. You guys were liking that. Inspo Text. Yeah, sign up for Inspo Text. All right. Any questions? If you have questions, you can text them to me. All right, that would be great. So I love you guys. I think you're awesome. We'll have 2 podcasts next week, Monday and Wednesday, and I'll choose a new topic and we'll do Facebook Live Tuesday and Thursday. All right. See you guys. Hope you have a wonderful night. And I love you. Bye.